And then you also too, you don't want to be the one to make a whole alliance come after you because now you got this dude in here randomly who didn't put in no work, but somehow is in there to collect all the money.
Mm-hmm.
People come
Make
after you
everybody
like
else
that.
feel like, yeah, make other people feel like they get special treatment.
Right. And questions start asking, who account is that? Nope, not be in the middle of that one. So, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of What the Hell Are We Talking About? And if you didn't know by other previous episodes that you already watched, I don't think it really matters because you enjoy what we're talking about, right?
Somebody's got to.
Mm. So, how was your 4th of July?
Decent. Saw some fireworks and took care of some stuff and nothing eventful. Didn't set anything off, just watched other people do it. How about you?
Yeah. Well, 4th of July is well, you don't know, but 4th of July is kind of a bittersweet holiday for me. It's my grandmother's birthday, you know. Shout out to her in heaven. So, it's kind of me having that remembrance of being a little kid and the fireworks going off and her in the backyard or her in the kitchen, So it's kind of bittersweet. It's a weird feeling. But, I'm black, so really I don't celebrate 4th of July. We were still slaves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, it's a day of freedom for some of us.
Right. And
And
if you
then,
will, go ahead.
yeah, well, I was going to just say that one of the biggest things I heard yesterday in outrage against the 4th of July was just, all the people who are Native American and, all that. So it's like, well, freedom for the people who just took over. Good for them, I guess.
Yeah. And if you on the other side of the pond, to you, yesterday was treacherous treason day, you know.
Well, kind of, but at the same time, the people that I know that live in England that I deal with on a regular basis, they don't even care or know about it. Like they don't. It's not something that's taught in school at any kind of high volume. So they're not. They're kind of oblivious to the whole thing. You know.
Wow. That's actually my first time ever acknowledging or hearing that. But I mean, you got to think about it, how many countries in the world, lost a war and talk about their victors' holidays.
Vietnam.
I don't think it's many.
We're not celebrating the last whenever we got out of Vietnam.
No. And the Vietnam War itself shouldn't be celebrated at all.
No.
It shouldn't be
No.
talked about, really.
Maybe that's what really with anything. Like we don't have a day where we celebrate the Adam Wainwright curveball in 2006.
But we celebrate Bobby Vanilla Day. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's more of a tongue in cheek, just how inept people are.
yeah, it's more of a FU than anything. Like, aha,
Yeah.
he got you.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. So you're saying your grandma's birthday was the 4th of July. She was in the backyard setting off fireworks, in the kitchen setting off fireworks. Grandma sounded like a shit ton of fun.
No. So, my grandmother, she, I mean, basically for all intents and purposes, she was an immigrant. She came from Jamaica. And so, I mean, her, sitting at the kitchen table, she always drunk tea. So that was her thing. Guess that English influence. So she would be sitting at the kitchen table drinking her tea or, I mean, the first time my grandmother ever called me lazy was and it hurt my feelings a little bit because I was off put. I was like, what just happened? And so we was preparing for a cookout in the backyard for her birthday, 4th of July. And it was me, my dad, and my uncle was in the backyard. And we had to cut the grass down. And I was like, I'm tired. And she called me lazy because we barely did anything in the backyard, and I was already talking about I was tired. And I was like, she called me lazy. But yeah,
She
you know.
did she give you like the lecture of how she was in her backyard with the machete, like cutting grass every weekend?
No, no. And the crazy part is like she never really talked about her family and stuff in Jamaica. Like that was like her big taboo. Like I didn't find out my grandmother's maiden name until like I was well in my 30s. Yeah, she didn't talk about her family. Only thing I knew about her family was that she flew into well, she went down to Miami for a funeral and it was an argument about some money and she was basically like, y'all just keep it, and she bounced and never talked to her family again. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't tell you nothing about my grandmother's childhood. I mean, I
What?
I don't even
What?
I don't even think my dad could tell you anything about my grandmother's childhood. Just never talked about it. Yeah.
So why does that make the fourth bittersweet?
Because I, I think about her, she's no longer living. So, uh, it's the happiness of, her, her birthday, but also too, she's no longer living to celebrate it. So it's kind of a
Yeah,
bittersweet thing.
fair. Yeah, because it's you remember the fondness though, and you remember the positives. If anything, it's a good day because it brings her back up to the top of your memory and lets you celebrate, and also pass with her or pass her information of what you experienced to the people around you. So you get to teach your children about what grandma was like at that time.
No, she was probably about 4'11", barely 5 foot, toughest person I ever known. I wouldn't mess with her. She had that short people complex. You ever see short people and they like really angry and you like, why you so aggressive? Why you so angry?
Yeah, of course. I'd say basically every husband from Latin America whose wife I had to steal. That was their fault. I'm sorry I passed 5'3".
How many wives have you stole?
I mean, is it theft if they left on like I had nothing to do with the part where they left. I was just being myself, just doing my normal thing, and they just decided, hey, I'd rather spend more time around that than the unfortunate life that I currently live. One confirmed, and I can debate the other, 18 to 20.
18 to 20. Do you have an ICE card or something? Like what's going on? Like green card give out? You just marry them and give them green cards? What's
Nah, that's a lot of work.
I get it now. You got to type.
Plus, they have to be yes, and they have to be a grandma as well. I don't need
You
people who are like, oh, I want to have kids. Like, I don't want to have any more kids. Fuck that.
Why you don't want to have no more kids?
Because I have the ones I have. Those are bad enough. We're gonna make more of that. Two little versions of me walking around. One of me was too much, and I decided let me just break that off into something that I can make worse.
Well, I mean, you did come out. You did fare better than I did. You had a boy and a girl,
Hmm.
whereas I had all girls. So, yeah. And that's like some weird family tradition in my family. Like there are
To have
it's a girl majority. Like I got like one boy cousin for each generation, including myself. Yeah. That's crazy.
yeah, I mean it's kind of a double edged sword because I have a son. However, he's an asshole just like I am. But he's also tall and thin, and he's got the olive skin, all the stuff I didn't have when I was his age. And little girls follow him around, and I didn't have that until after college.
So you hating on the player.
Of course,
You hate the game. You don't hate on the player.
I hate both. We while we went and saw fireworks last night over by the lake, and I I taught him like all these young girls, probably teenagers, early 20s, maybe even at 30s, who knows. I was just like looking at him going, "Hey, there's another one." And like I go to open the window and he's all like, "Dad, stop! You're embarrassing me." I'm like, "Just be like, hey, sweetheart, my bedtime's not till 9:30. You want to come hang out for now? Just use what you got. Hey, sweetheart, you come here with your brother often?"
Is that a stroller you're wearing? Um, Listen, yeah, you know, that's one of the things that scares me is my kids growing up. I mean, I have the grown ones now, so I made it through once, but stuff keeps evolving, technology and everything like that. So it scares me to think, the things that, I have to teach the younger one compared to, you know, what I taught the older ones. Um, like the birds and the bees. Uh,
Oh,
I I would think it's easier to teach a boy about the birds and the bees because I'm coming from a male perspective. So male, it's not. You're shaking your head no.
there's none of it's good there, but there's an adverse to everything because I feel like with girls they have more. You can speak more to emotional stuff, which is probably hard anyway. But with boys, like once you give them the tools to succeed, then they're just gonna go do it.
That is true. That is true. You know, like my
Like it's
dad.
it's a weird balance. When do you know like when's the right time to even do that? Because if you sit down with your son and then explain to him how all that stuff works, now it's fresh in his mind. He's like, hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like my dad teaching me to, when we at the park, to pee on the tree. Like, oh, you can go up over here and go pee outside, or you can use this corner right here to pee if you walking down the street. Well, what he didn't tell me was those factors don't work inside the home. You can't explain this stuff to a 2, 3 year old that's just learning how to, and I guess it correlates with, teaching boys, you know, men, about the birds and the bees, So, yeah. I just scared the life up out of my daughters and told them, don't do it. Boys got diseases. Um, you can catch those diseases, including babies. Those babies ill, you know, and boys, they stink. You smell daddy when he farts. It smells horrible. Boys smell like that all the time. Smell like fart. And it worked for the older ones, but
They did. They still like that.
well, they don't have no kids. So, I mean, they eventually met little knuckleheads, but my oldest one, she was dating a cop. Uh, she don't really too much mess with knuckleheads. The middle one, she has a type. And her type is she like white boys. I mean, she don't say that she don't like black boys, but most of most of her type is white. And the youngest one, she better not have any damn thing, or she gonna eat a bar soap.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Definitely. Kids need more soap in their lives.
Yeah, like I remember growing up. You say bad words, they gonna make you eat a bar soap. You know, you
If you're
couldn't
lucky,
you couldn't be real. Opinionated growing up. I think it's keeps on going out of balance because I'm not bright enough. There we go. Let's
why don't
try that.
you?
I made myself brighter and bluer. Now I'm a Smurf.
Nice.
But yeah, um, growing up, I think that we had it 10 times rougher and with less technology and stuff like that. We kind of adapt and learn things on our own.
Yeah, but also the advances in technology. If you needed help of some kind, it's easier and more accessible than before. Like if you were out, I know for me, for example, my parents kicked me out of the house in the morning on a weekend and said come back at night or lunchtime. If you hear me calling for you at lunchtime, come home and eat. If you don't hear me, then don't come home. So, but if you're out and something happens to you, there's really no way to get in contact with your parents or your family. But
Right.
now everything's at the push of a button. So I
Right.
mean, I guess the intention would be that type of use, except it doesn't go that way. It's usually it's whatever kids enjoy doing or what they feel like they need to get done, which ends up being something horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember growing up, you knew where everybody was at by the bikes or the skateboards. You went down the block. My parents didn't even have a house phone. They didn't have a house phone till I want to say like the early 90s. Yeah. So to find
Makes
out where
sense.
everybody is and stuff like that, or you just had to know the neighborhood, and like I was telling my youngest, when we was kids, we went outside to play. Said, but I can't let you do that now. I just can't. We used to randomly let our kids just, you know, human beings used to randomly let their kids like in the 70s and 80s just wander the streets. No cell phone, no
Yeah.
way to contact your kids, no load jacks, no nothing, you know. And it
Nothing.
wasn't like kids got kidnapped at a high alarming rate or anything like that back then. It was just like you knew everybody in the neighborhood. Nowadays you really just don't know.
Yeah. I think that's another thing is that really nobody talks to their neighbors as much as they used to. I don't know who my neighbors are. I've got I can see out my front door at least 5 or 6, maybe 10 houses. Couldn't tell you who lives there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and not to say that's a bad thing. I like that. I'm okay with that. I don't want to know you, and you don't want to know me. But
Right. I mean, some of these people are weird nowadays. They don't even know how to, I guess, because it goes back to technology. They don't know how to communicate properly. Like they're staring at you. You look across the room and you like, why are you? And I come from an era where if I look at you, I'm gonna say, hi, hey man, how you doing? They'll just look and be like, hi. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
well, yeah, that's the way it felt when I moved to North Carolina. We were riding up the street in the U-Haul truck, and there were people sitting on their front porch, and they were waving at us. And I was looking out the window like, who are these people? Who are these people? You know these people? And my dad said, everybody here is really friendly. And it was just so confusing. Like it just who?
yeah,
No, no.
yeah, trust me, I understand. I come from the Northeast too. So I have that weird contrast. But like I said, if I look at you, I say hi. If I don't look at you, I'm not even paying you no attention. It's a different atmosphere up there. Like you don't randomly wave at people. You might get
I feel
cussed
like you
out.
shouldn't. I feel like you shouldn't wave at people anyway. Just walking this like random people walking the street. I feel like that's not your shouldn't be your go-to.
No, like I'm not walking down the street going, hi, 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 hi. Cause then a police officer come up behind me and be like, hi. Yeah, we're gonna hold you 48 hours.
Yeah, and you know what? You know how hard it is to get your pinwheel back from evidence.
Yeah, yeah.
I just picture you
And
holding a pinwheel while you're doing it.
yeah. And your animal balloons
Mm-hmm. Jorts.
and your New Balances with high socks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
And your bag full of suckers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And your t-shirt that says you have popsicles in your basement. And I don't know because some people just look weird in general nowadays. Like they don't look mentally all there. So
Yeah, most
I
people
don't know.
aren't.
No, I you know what? I think it's the work-life balance that's way off. I think more people are working and hoping and stressing to get somewhere, and they just like a hamster wheel with no roll. They just moving in one place, and so
Yeah,
they're just
and
mentally off balance.
everybody has their breaking point. I know just from the work that I do, there have been people that have had to just take some time away and just go on like medical leave for a couple months and just reset so the stress doesn't kill them. Next thing you know, you're gonna start having, heart problems and, you know, hair loss and, and the very worst thing of all, loss loss of consort. Once ED gets involved, that's when doctors like immediately escalate it up to the highest priority. Like you need to watch it. Your lungs are starting to collapse, and your liver's, it's going into failure, but it's okay. It's just you gotta slow down on stuff that makes your liver fail. And it's like, oh shit, your dick doesn't work. We got to get you in for surgery. Here's all these medications.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you get a penis pill, you get a penis pill, you get a penis pill. And if we can't prescribe them to you, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna advertise them on TV while you in there watching TV with your family about a woman and her husband couldn't please her, and then he got on Hims or Blue Chew, and now his penis works and he can please her. Why is this coming on while I'm trying to watch TV with my family? Like, Daddy, what's that? Nothing, baby. Or Daddy, are you on that? Hell to the nah. Don't need no pills here,
Mail,
buddy.
yeah, mail hasn't come yet.
That's a double entendre. I gotta give you a round of applause for that one. I gotta give you a
take what I can get. But I remember being at a urologist.
Okay, now that was weird,
I'll
right?
proceed.
Yeah,
A little bit, but it's all good. So I went to this urologist, and I saw that they have one of those displays for Viagra that was sitting out there, and it had a bunch of like little samples inside of it. It was a display for it, but it wasn't the samples of it. It actually had alcohol wipes in it. But these people came in, and while I was sitting there waiting, these people came in and they saw the box of it, and the man and the woman kind of conspired together and just basically grabbed the whole thing and poured it into his lady friend's purse so that they could take everything because they thought they were samples and they wanted it. So they took the whole box of alcohol wipes. I don't know how it worked for them. I never saw them again, and I'm glad I didn't. But if it did work for them, maybe alcohol wipes. You just take one alcohol wipe, right before you want to, get things rolling, and maybe that works. I don't know.
Yeah, those Viagra wipes don't work. Those Viagra wipes don't work. I don't know what this doctor is doing.
Results may vary.
Yeah. Probably thought she burned him. You've been cheating on me. You gave me gonorrhea.
Maybe, but also maybe they were trying to have a kid, but they can't because those wipes make you sterile because they're for sterilization.
That's true. I
think if your mindset is I'm gonna take a alcohol wipe, then you probably shouldn't be having kids anyway.
Yeah. If you think that you gotta steal Viagra, I'm watching how I word this because some people have injuries in which they need Viagra. But
what for like an oblique or like a
I don't know. Maybe it's PTSD. But then again, I mean, do you really want to have kids without sorting your PTSD or anything like that? Like kids are loud. So and crazy. And they'll just do shit randomly. Like I know mines will just get up in the middle of the floor and just start singing in front of the TV while I'm watching TV for no apparent reason at all. Nobody told her that this was America's Got Talent or anything like that. Like just randomly.
And to take it back to Vietnam, they also can blend in with the surroundings and pop out of a crevice at any point.
True.
And if this was the early 2000s, they'd pop out and be like, "You got games on your phone?"
I mean, mine has games on her phone. So I mean, we beyond that now. But
But back then there was like one or two options. Like back in like 2000, you had Centipede, or maybe like if your phone was in color, you had like a little bubble bursting game. But that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. Nah, I had an HTC, so you had the little like ball game. You had to like put the ball in the hole and get it through the maze and stuff like that. So it was weird. But now the Nokia Snake game, that was top of the line. Not to get way off subject of needing Viagra to have kids.
On
But
the Fourth of
yeah,
July.
on the 4th of July with PTSD. That just sounds like a bad combination. But then if you need all that to have kids, you need to reevaluate having kids. If you feel like you got to steal Viagra, that's a that's just a bad business. And just a bad business. And then to me, like, I don't know why all these penis pills and stuff like that. And I understand, like we just said, work life balance, stress, and all that stuff can add issues on your penis working properly. But my thing is this: if a woman gets butt naked in front of you and you don't feel a jolt, just a little nudge or something, then it ain't the penis pills. It ain't the penis that's not working. You need to find
Yeah.
you another woman.
Yeah, and on top of that, if that happens to you and that's a problem, then you are riding the wrong subway.
Elaborate on that one, Patrick.
I mean, from the time I spent up north, I've seen a lot of things riding the subway in New York, and there have been people that have been doing a lot of different things. And there was a time where it wasn't a woman, it was a man, but he decided he was just gonna take off all his clothes, scream something, don't know what it was. By that time, my eyes were covered by my parents, and I was covered, and a loud commotion. And I think that's one of the few times people acknowledged each other in public, because usually you could be on fire walking down the street and nobody would even look at you. They just mind their own business. But in this one, I guess people had to directly react. So
Yeah,
I don't know. But if that didn't do something for you, though, then you might not be attracted to that.
that's
I don't
true.
know.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. They always say the women perspective is more mental, um, with arousal and stuff like that. But men's perspective is just the same. Like, it's mental. If you're not really feeling that person, or you're not really looking at that person like as a sexual partner, then you know,
Yeah. But we all have our limits, though, because I don't know about you. I can't speak for you, but I can speak for my own post nut regret. But it's been there where it's a great idea until it's done, and then when it's done, it's just, why did I do that to myself, and how do I get out of here?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I got a bunch of those, but um, I found that I'm easily turned off by things. Like, say, back in the day, I go out on a date and I smell a certain type of perfume, and I'll be like, nah, that's not it. Or if I'm hanging out with a chick and I'm listening to her talk on the phone or talk to somebody else, it's like, nah, that's not it. It I mean, it was always real simple for me, but to go back to what you said, yeah, I think every man has that post or had that post nut uh regret where you just look and you be like, yep, that was fun for that time. Gotta go. See you later. Bye. Yeah. But everybody ain't meant to be together. So, and you forcing it by taking Viagra, Cialis, Blue Chew, and whatever damn other one is up out there.
Yeah, it's forever evolving, but it's also nice for those people that actually need that kind of help, because
Right.
before it was, I don't know what it was before. I really don't know what it is now either because I don't know how any of that stuff works, and I'm thankful that I don't have to know what that life's like. But that's tough, and it's amazing how that something like that could hit market before things that are really important, like cancer medication that doesn't fuck you up, or AIDS, medicine. How's that not more priority than stuff that won't kill you, but your quality of life goes down, but you do get to have a life, you know?
Because treating you, and I've said this before in numerous spaces, treating you equals more money for them. Curing you is way less money for them. So they're going to treat you for your AIDS, your cancer, all other diseases up out there. They're going to treat you for it. But can they cure you? Yeah. If you can make a medication for AIDS to where if I take, it's called what is it called? PrEP. It's called PrEP. If you take PrEP, then it's a good chance that you may not get HIV or you know AIDS or anything like that while out there having sex. If you can make something like that, then you can definitely cure it, right?
Yeah, but if you cure it, then you keep them alive so that they can get something else. If you don't cure it, they die, and that cash cow is gone.
But I can treat you up until you die.
Well, some of them there is no treatment.
Yeah, yeah. But I can. Well, that's a few outliers. But if I got 100 people that I cure, right? I got 100 people that I cure, and I got another 100 up over here that I'm treating. These 100 up over here I'm treating, I can keep them alive for about 20, 30 years. These people up over here that I cured, they're going to be alive regardless for that 30, 40 year mark. So I'm not making it's a one-time thing up over here, but it's 30, 40 years of treating them up over here, and I'm going to make my money.
Right? But the ones that you cure now have it in their genetics and have a predisposure to it. Therefore, it could come back, or something else. It makes their immune system weaker and more susceptible to getting something different. Cancer doesn't, like, if someone loses their cancer diagnosis and they beat it, they still have to be checked to see if it comes back because it may come back, and a lot of times it does.
Yeah,
So
with vengeance.
I don't know. It's kind of I just think the priorities in general are really bad. Like curing diabetes would be really nice.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
say diet and exercise, but I don't know. Fuck is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, we, especially in the US, we tend to think that we got the best of everything. We don't. You know, a lot of things that we eat here, other countries wouldn't even dare, or
It's
it's blocked in
illegal.
their country. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So most of our stuff is basically put there to make money up off of us. So diabetes is high here in the US because it's what's being put in the food to make money up off of treating us for diabetes. It's all a business. We are that business.
Yeah, but if you think about it, the United States does have some of the best things there are to offer.
But yeah,
I
some
mean,
of the best things.
but a lot of things, especially important things like Chinese food, uh, Belgian chocolate.
Uh,
Think about it.
yeah,
You know a better place to
hibachi
get Belgian
grill.
chocolate?
You
Hmm.
know a better place to get hibachi grill?
There's several of them here.
I know. I know.
Hmm.
They even got a Korean soul food mashup. Yeah. One of my
I think
favorite places.
that is one of the good things though about here is that we do have that level of diversity that you can find just about anything, as where there are other countries obviously a lot smaller, different infrastructure, and their priorities are better, so they're not going to have a Chinese spot next to every single grocery store just by design with 8 or 9 different pizza options. But
Right.
there's a lot of
And
places, like I know, just like people that I know from Europe, like a buddy of mine is from Poland. He had never had tacos before, or any Spanish food really that's like Latin American. until it came to the U.S.
And he ate at Taco Bell.
I think there was like a local spot right near where he was staying. That was like the first stop. But yeah, like they.
But he was definitely staying off of South Boulevard.
No, I think he was in Jersey at the time, but
Jersey?
it was yeah, it was somewhere in Jersey, like near Camden or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But still, it's the fact that they don't use tortillas in Europe.
No. Corn or flour. I don't think.
Mhm.
But no. Yeah. Now you talk about the diversity, but I mean you'll see some weird stuff like you'll see Mexicans cooking Chinese food.
Every time.
Yeah. Um, Taco Bell isn't authentic Mexican food. Taco Bell is actually probably the worst version of it.
And it's so
Because
good
every
at
Mexican
times.
restaurant I've ever been to bought me out tacos, and the plate is like a gigantic, a gigantic
Yeah.
table of food almost. So
And you can actually define what's on that plate.
right, right. You don't know if it's with Taco Bell. You don't know if it's just like some shit they just grabbed out of a tube and just put cheese on it. That's the way it looked. Like they just oozed it into your taco and wrapped it up and said, "Here you go."
Yeah. Well, their number one chef tool at any of those restaurants is going to be the box opener.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't.
that's the thing though, is like just about any restaurant you go to that has a kitchen where the staff is actually doing some cooking, there's going to be Spanish people there because they'll work just to do anything. Their work ethic is definitely not in question.
No.
I worked at a Chinese spot near here, and the people who were doing all the cooking were Mexicans. I would call them Mexican Americans, but that would imply they're American, which I would safely say they're not.
Well, you never know now. You never know now. I mean, because they don't. And I think that's part of the issue is they're so used to their own, that a lot of times they still have their accents or their English still poor, but they could be U.S. citizens.
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't in this case. And I remember going into that spot, and every time the owner would leave, like she would just go in there and just start yelling at everybody, and then she would leave, and I would walk in the back, and the guys they didn't speak English, but I would look over at them and say, "Laca amarillo puta," and then they would just laugh.
Translate.
Skinny yellow bitch. Now, I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I knew that part.
Oh man. Mm, mm.
But I think at the same time, there's people that it's and this thing that bothers me. Actually, my wife and I were talking about this morning. Like she was getting on me because I was helping do the laundry, and she said, "I noticed you didn't separate the whites and the coloreds." And I said, "A lot of progress here. I think that they should both be able to be together because I don't think we should have to separate the whites and the coloreds. I think if anything, all clothes are created equal. And I think you, a person of color, because she's Hispanic, she should know better than anybody that it's okay. Whatever you like." Because then I kind of followed that up with, at the same time, I think maybe we don't put towels in with my dress shirts. Maybe we do that, but color really matters, I guess. I don't know. I don't see color in that way. They're all clothes to me. I feel like maybe I don't know. Maybe I've evolved a lot more, but I was affected by Rosa Parks. Like I had so many funny things I could write down and say related to that subject. But I'll digress. I just think that it's laundry, and also we don't say colored anymore.
Well, this is the this is the thing. I can't even get it out. This, this is the thing. All right. If you wash your color clothes and your white clothes together, yeah, your white clothes will begin to get the color. All right. So if you and your wife have a child, just hypothetically, I don't want you throwing hexes through the screen.
I don't have to, man. She's a grandma. We were post menopause.
Then then your child would have the color. He would tan a lot better than you. That's the way your clothes work. So when you wash your clothes, guess what? If you put colors with the whites, eventually the whites will start to have color.
Yeah, I mean that's just normal science. Because look at we have Eminem, we have Snow. Remember Snow? We have probably other white rappers that I don't remember because they aren't relevant or embarrassing to say their names. Bubba something, that other guy. Like there's
But you
white
can't forget
people
about
that
Search, MC Search.
yes, yes.
Yeah, he gave
Okay,
us
I'll take that.
Nas.
He's
I mean, without MC Search, we wouldn't have Nas.
okay. Okay. We also wouldn't have the white rapper show from VH1. But I think that kind of proves my point. Unless you want to keep your white clothes white, and that's fine if you want to live in 1950. But I think expanding your horizons and broadening your culture isn't a bad thing. But also, I wash mine on like cold water, so I don't think any of that applies at that point.
Mm,
Or maybe it does. I don't know. Should I be doing laundry at that point?
no, no, no. It's just not your cup of tea. Some things are just not people's cup of tea. And a lot of people are in denial that they shouldn't be doing stuff that's not their cup of tea, like
Right.
laundry,
Well,
sex, kids. There you go.
I
It's
don't know
not
if
your
I want
cup of
all
tea.
three of those in the same comparison.
Well, I mean, that's
I
all that
agree
we
with you
talked
though.
about. I mean,
I agree
if
with
you
you
need
though.
Viagra, you shouldn't be doing sex. It's just not your cup of tea.
Maybe, maybe, or maybe you have to have some kind of modified version. I don't know.
Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
for
You
sure.
know,
I don't know
maybe
either.
you like having sex with blow up dolls. Yeah, that's your thing. You don't need Viagra for your blow up doll. Stick to your
Uh-uh.
blow up doll. Bang the air up out of it. Bang it to the ghost.
Somebody's Amazon cart has some of those clear patches in it right now, and that's what it's for. And that's maintenance. That's a maintenance expense.
Well, I mean, you got to maintain your blow up doll. I mean, you can't just have the hole smell like tuna fish and or you might get a leak. You gotta patch it up.
Yeah, I
It's
think
your blow up
maintenance is
doll.
important at all times. Yeah, maintenance is key though. There's maintenance on that kind of stuff. Maintenance on your vehicle, on your relationships.
Even
There's
yourself.
maintenance there.
Even
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
You got to have
Going to the
maintenance for you know.
going to the doctor, taking your vitamins, standing up and walking, drink water. Yeah, it's a lot.
Shaving,
Yeah.
showering. A lot of people don't shower
Mhm.
nowadays. They got stuff in the store now you can just spray on and be clean, supposedly. It's an actress that says that she don't understand why Americans take baths so much. She do a little cat bath and go about her day. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you're a woman. That's, you know, that's needed. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say, I think also, what's a cat bath? Are they just like licking the back of their hand and rubbing it on themselves?
when I read that, that's what the first thing that came to my mind too. Like, oh, I'm clean. Like, I don't know. When I read that, I just looked around and was like, yeah, they're going to crucify you. Like, why did you say this? Like, certain things you can keep to yourself. Like, you don't wash your ass, you don't wash your ass. As simple as that. But keep that to yourself. And the smell. And the smell. Keep the smell to yourself as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, but some people maybe need that just for attention. We all know that if you just walk out your front door and say something outlandish, you're going to get that attention, especially if somebody has a camera on you. If you say something
Right.
ridiculous or something that's controversial, that's going to get a lot more attention than just having a normal day and nothing newsworthy.
That's true. That's true. Or you say some dumb shit like, I don't wash my legs when I'm in the shower. Like, come on, man. Like, stop saying dumb stuff. Like, I don't wash my legs and my feet. Like, ain't that part of your body?
Hmm. Okay, but at the same time, I think that's not washing your legs will get you clean. You'll be cleaner than people who just take baths exclusively. Because I don't even know how logistically you can do that and feel clean. Because when you like wash all that off you, you're just sitting in it, and then when it drains out, it's just sticking back to you.
Well, you know, to go to my friends over there in Japan, the Japanese way of taking the shower is you shower in the shower, and then after that, you get in the bathtub.
And do what? Right?
You soak
Do
in the
lotus
bathtub.
flowers? Do
No,
origami?
no lotus flowers. So the thought is basically you wash all the dirt off, all the filth up off of your body, and then that's when you take a bath. So
And
you're not.
I can't water my lawn between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. They can they can shower and then take a bath. How much time do they have?
Well, I mean, you got to figure also too. They surrounded by the ocean, so I'm pretty sure they got like desalinization pumps running 24/7, 365 to get fresh water in.
Yeah, they are clean. They're just a cleaner nation in general.
Right.
People actually clean up after themselves.
Well, most
Amazing
Asian
to me.
countries are. You know, the majority of them are very clean. I mean, look at Singapore. I mean, your boy got beat with a cane back in the day for spitting out chewing gum. So, I mean, it's a lot of clean Asian countries. Some aren't, but it's a lot of them that are. So I'm just thinking like that's a way to negate you sitting in your own filth in the bathtub.
Yeah. But as
I was
lazy
always
as this nation is, you really think anyone's doing that?
well once you get done soaking in the bathtub and you wash your body off, you know, and you got the ring around the tub, I'm pretty sure you should just get up, let the water drain out, rinse your body off to make sure you ain't got no more dirt on you. And I mean, it's as simple as that. That'll work too.
Yeah, for some people, that's all they have.
Yeah. Well, I prefer you to do that than just walk around taking cat baths.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you put a ring around the tub. At least I know you got some of it up off of you.
I can just cat bath. I just picture a bathtub with a cat walking around it because they don't want to be in water. You know, that's all I see. Just walking around it, get thrown in, jump out, scream, start attacking everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had
Cats
this
don't like.
great idea though.
Hmm?
I don't like cats, but sorry, I don't want to cut you off on that, but I wanted to get away from cats.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of cats, even though I grew up in New Jersey and we had to have them. Because you got rats, mice, mouse, whatever you want to call them. Not like down here in the South where they look like little baby raccoons, but they just everywhere up there. So you got to have a cat.
Uh-huh.
And come to find out, most of my asthma issues was because of cats growing up. Like I had real bad asthma and nobody didn't understand why. And then when we moved down here, we didn't have no more cats. And mysteriously, my asthma went away. But everybody had a cat. My grandmother had a cat. We had a cat. Everybody had cats. So,
Uh-huh.
that was my asthma. So, no, I don't
That
really
makes
too
sense.
much care for cats. I don't care for dogs. Just give me a goldfish.
Do you want to earn your goldfish though? Like throw the ping pong ball into the little cup?
No, 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 no. I'll do like every other American does. Go to Walmart, get like 30 goldfish, and then 3 will survive, and I have 3 goldfish.
Uh-huh. They still sell them? I
I
haven't
don't think
seen
they
it.
do. I don't think they do anymore. I
Trying to
just
think of
said
where
that
you
and
would
thought
even
about it like,
do that. And I was like,
I don't think they do. You had to go to like PetSmart now or something like that. And even then,
yeah.
the way some of them stores smell like the dog just came in there and just pissed right as soon as you walked in the door.
Hmm.
Um, I Yeah, I would still
Maybe
probably get like 30 goldfish and hope for the
I feel
best.
like that's an untapped market. You know how you have all those people that breed dogs and stuff, where you have to go to special breeders just to buy like a certain type of dog that you want. Like maybe it needs to be normalized, or you have people who just breed goldfish, and you have to hear about them. It's like when you're trying to get a sourdough starter, you have to find that person that actually does it in your town or near your town, and like link up with them. Like, yeah, I'm one of the few people in the southeast that breeds goldfish. This is my goldfish farm, and all that.
Yeah. Well, like I told my wife, whenever I get rich, I'm gonna have my little backyard oasis, and I'm gonna have me a koi pond. Koi ain't nothing but big goldfish. But yeah, I'm gonna have me a koi pond. So I guess I can breed me some koi in my backyard. Patrick like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yep. Fish.
Fish. Not
Fish.
tilapia. Not tilapia.
Nope.
Never
Nope.
farm raised fish.
So
Natural fish.
I had this great idea. Great idea that I think would
Okay.
just bring enjoyment serve no purpose, but just bring overall enjoyment to me and some of the more unhappy people that I've seen in my life and not had to directly deal with. You know who's really unhappy that I've noticed? The mail carrier.
Who?
The mail
Oh boy.
carrier. Those people, they are not happy. They either have to, ride on the wrong side of the road, or they have to drive on the wrong side of the car, and they never once have I seen them look happy ever, ever. Usually, it's a very thankless job, and it's difficult. But my way of giving back and bringing them some enjoyment is, I think that my mailbox needs to be converted to something more enjoyable. So I'm thinking I would like to have my mailbox altered in a way that it looks like the Cookie Monster. So, like, you pull open the mouth, put the mail in, and as you're closing it, all you'd hear is no, 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 no.
You can do that.
I want to do that. I think it's a great idea, and I
You
think
can do
that
that.
any HOA would hate it immediately, which also gives me more inspiration to do it.
FHOAs. Yeah. But you can definitely do that. It could be done. I mean, we have the technology, find somebody with a 3D printer. Yeah. Couple of cans of spray paint and a little battery powered little voice box and a little cantilever switch to where as soon as they open it up and they close it back, it sets it off and goes yum 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 yum.
I like it.
Or when you open it up, it says cookies, and then when you close it, it goes yum 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 yum. Yeah,
Great idea.
Yep, we sell them on eBay, $100 a pop.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just for the idea. It's a kit. It's a take-home kit. You just have to go buy all the supplies yourself.
Yep, you have to have the 3D printer and everything.
Yes, everything. You get the idea. You can purchase the idea.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where we at in America. That's where we at in America right now. You never own it. You never own it, but you will purchase it. You will buy exactly, but you'll never own it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. With PlayStation going strictly to digital now, you don't even own the game no more. You just got the right to use it.
But that changed a long time ago. I remember when I used to play a lot when I was a lot younger. You'd buy the game, you play the game, and it was yours, and you always have it until it breaks or wears out or whatever. It was like a pair of shoes. It was there, it was yours. Now you can buy the game for like 4 times the price it used to be. Now it's like
Right.
what, 60, 80, $100 per game, and that gets you a license to get into the atmosphere. But if you want to do anything else, there's going to be every single add-on you can imagine.
Microtransactions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, if you want to be like certain games, if you want to be able to play them, you have to buy an online subscription just to get to it.
And it doesn't come with anything that you that you need to succeed. Yeah. So I'm a 2K player, and the issue that I have is like you'll have these people who have just unlimited amounts of disposable income, right? They'll come in, they'll buy the game the first week, they buy all this stuff, and then they're like top tier. They got like all the different things and everything like that. And here I am trying to grind my way up. It's 6 months later, And I'm not even nowhere near what they got. So you're telling me that I have to buy all that stuff in order to succeed and play the game? I refuse.
To be competitive.
I refuse. It took all the fun up out of it. Like I buy the 1 year behind. I'm the 1 year behind guy. So while everybody's on like 2K26, I'll be like on 2K25. Because
Are you talking about the basketball one? Or
yeah. No, I'm talking about the
what?
basketball one.
What can you purchase in there that makes you better? Like, don't you? Isn't the team like the same players no matter what?
Yeah, but you got your my player. So with your my player, you can use a VC to build him up.
Okay, so essentially you have your custom player that you can pay to make more skilled,
Right.
and that's a whole team
Right.
or just one.
One person, one player. Until you reach the second level, till you reach a certain level, then you create another one who starts off at a high tier already, and then you can just take your leftover VC and reward points and build him up too. So you can
Okay,
have,
so
like, within the span of 6 months and a whole bunch of money spent, you can have two very high level players that a person that doesn't have any money can't beat. And they say it's about
gotcha.
skill or whatever like that. Like, dude, like I've been playing 2K since it was on like Sega Dreamcast. Like, it ain't about skill. Trust me. It's more about those microtransactions. So that's why I said you can buy it, but you'll never own it.
Makes sense.
Yep. So with that said, I hope everybody has a good week. Stay out of the heat because it's still like 500 degrees outside. I think I seen Juvenile saying back that ass up out there, something. And yeah, yeah. So peace out. Stay safe. Drink plenty of fluids. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace. And Patrick just nods his head because that's just what he does.
He ain't moving his hands at all.